It's time to take this fight to an all-new front. Go behind the scenes. Be the first to know about our exclusives. And stay connected. Only one man has what it takes to bring the fun of Comic-Con right to your screen. It's time for an all-new episode of Kickin' It with Onrie, the live shopping show.
Victory Seekers, you're watching Kickin' It with Onrie. I'm your host, Onrie Kingpin. And before I begin tonight's episode, I just wanted to say a couple things that have been on my mind over the course of the last week. So for those of you who are in the comics community or those of you who are not, this weekend was supposed to be New York Comic Con. It is still kind of happening virtually, but the fact that it's not happening in a physical form is really crippling for all of us creators, because we depend on being at conventions live and being able to interact with people. Last year on Saturday, when I did New York Comic Con, I had sold over 500 books in a single day. And it's really kind of like difficult for me to imagine ever doing that again after everything that's happened. I mean, I know I will be able to eventually once I get back out there and I get back into the groove of things, but it's tough right now. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. But I like to think of the challenges that we face in life as an opportunity for us to grow and to evolve and figure out how things are going to go down the road. And that's kind of what has allowed this show to come to be in the first place. So I can't say I'm glad that we're in this situation, but I can say that it's given me an opportunity to try something different, to look into different avenues, to interact with a lot of different people. And maybe we're not there at Comic-Con physically, but honestly, I have to say I feel more connected to people now than I ever did when I was at conventions, because while I was at shows, I was always focused on what I came there to do, and I didn't really interact much or learn much from many of my contemporaries. So as I've said before on Live with Onrie and even on Kickin' It with Onrie, this has helped me evolve a lot, this whole situation. And so we got a great show tonight for you guys. I'm gonna go over a whole ton of things with you. We're gonna have a great time just chatting and stuff like that. And let me know how you're doing tonight. If you're listening, I will respond to you guys live. And I guess we'll just jump right into it. So I have been working very, very hard on my next project, which is called Warline. And it's kind of tough right now because I got to say, like, if I wasn't here doing this show with you guys, I would probably be at home writing right now. And I do plan on writing just as soon as this episode is finished recording. Just the way the production for this thing is kind of putting itself together is kind of amazing for me, because there comes a point when you write a script that you have to kind of let it go, and you have to trust the team that you bring on to do the best work that they can to bring your vision to life. And many times you want to see that vision surpassed, and you want to see people you want to see the people you bring on board take your story to the next level. And, in order for that to happen, you have to have a really strong script. You have to have a really strong idea of where you want to go with your story. And that's not always simple, because there comes a point during any production that you might come across a better idea. And when that happens, how can you not do that? You can't just let it go and hope that you'll have a chance to do it again, especially when it applies to the story you're telling. Like, for example, with Easton T-Shirts, we just had a scene that we finished up where there's this huge knife fight between Baron So and another character in our story. And it's just really elaborate scene that we put together. It's really the meat and potatoes of the next issue of Easton T-Shirts. And it's something that when we got the finished artwork, we had to kind of like break it apart and piece it back together. Like, completing this spread here has been a knife fight in and of itself. And it's difficult because when we when we had our original idea, we saw it laid out one way, and then when we got the finished artwork, we kind of looked at the artwork again and realized, well, you know what, this would be a lot stronger if we just moved things around a little bit. And this kind of stuff happens in film editing all the time. You have in movies, certain scenes, they're meant to be filmed in certain sequences, but they get chopped up and moved around because it works better for effect or for any other thing that might make the story better. So how can you not do it if you see that, hey, there's a better way we could do this if we just cut this up and piece things here. You kind of have to trust your instinct to do that in the moment, because you'll feel more confident when you're putting your work out there, knowing that you had done everything possible to make it the best story you can. And of course, it's never going to be finished. It's never perfect. They always say that there's always the saying that, projects are only abandoned, they're never finished. But honestly, because of how much I see going into Easton Shin, all the wonderful minds working behind this series, I feel a lot more confident because of the fact that I know that we're all in sync with each other when it comes to putting out that final book. And that's something I miss, is being able to connect with people in that way and for them to be able to see that. And, I appreciate anybody who's watching the show right now. It means a lot to me. It's so important. It's the lifeblood of everything we got going on with our business and what we're planning to do here. So basically what I've decided to do, how I'm going to switch things up with Kicking It with Onrie going forward, is I mentioned it on yesterday's episode. If you haven't seen yesterday's episodes, I'll tell you what we had going on, and we got new stuff going on too. So, if you watched yesterday's episode, you can stick around for today's episode too. So yesterday I had JOEL SAAVEDRA, my designer on Easton Shin, who will also be contributing artwork to my next project, which is called War Lion, come on the show, and he did a live sketch for us. And every customer who bought anything from our website at eastonshin.com are going to get a really awesome sketch that Joel drew for us live. And tonight he turned in a more complete version of that image, and I'm going to share it with you guys in just a few minutes. So I'm really excited about that. And I think it's going to be a really cool series. So Warline is basically my COVID machination. It's the one project that I decided to really focus on, given the situation that we were in. And I really wanted to do something different this time. I really wanted to stay away from historical concepts and really dive into a realm that I typically don't get to explore very often, being a creator-owned business, which is superheroes. And not just superheroes, but it's also sci-fi and martial arts and things like that. And we cover a lot of martial arts stuff in Easton Shin. Definitely our fights are very carefully choreographed, and I take a lot of pride in what we do with it. But one of the things that's really cool about Warline is it's based around an actual martial arts legend, and it's loosely follows his story, but it puts the character in a different setting, and it's not the exact same character, and it's really a psychological thriller when you think about it. The martial arts is really just kind of that's what allows the story to kind of progress. And the way I told Joel to kind of envision the main character of the story was if you have to cast someone in your mind, Warline is really Wesley Snipes, and the reason why I picked Wesley Snipes, in my mind at least, we can't obviously for copyright reasons, we can't just use his likeness and draw like that. But if I had to kind of hear a voice in my head, that's the voice I'm hearing, because Wesley Snipes, when he portrayed Blade, he was the first Marvel superhero. He was the one that really if Blade didn't succeed, you would not see any Marvel movies, and that's just a straight up fact. but besides that, you had Wesley Snipes, who was like an amazing action hero of the 90s, you know, Passenger 57, Demolition Man. He had done so many movies that were just so cool. And he was an awesome, like, martial artist too. And he, you know, seeing him fight on screen was just like amazing. And I missed that. I loved it even more in Blade, by the way. Like that first opening act in Blade, straight up goes down in history as like one of the best action scenes ever in film. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. You know, the whole thing, the setup for it, the way it all comes together, it's perfect. And that's really what we're trying to kind of come across with the feeling we're trying to get with Warline. But aside from that, it's not just that feeling. It's also like a sense of really telling a story that will impact readers, that will get you guys to want to read this thing not once but multiple times, and to see it from multiple views, and try and get all the messages that we try and bring into the story. And so we're not just like looking at Wesley Snipes in his prime. We're looking at Wesley Snipes as like an older man who's like, you know, still got the muscle and the strength to like whoop some ass, but like he's not like he's not as young and, you know, full of piss and vinegar as he was when he was younger. So it's a different type of story, and there's a lot of twists in it. And I'm still working it out because I have a lot of faith in this project. I think you guys are going to really, really love it. I think if you love Decent Chin and you like Marks, you're really going to love this. And Joel's really putting in a lot of effort into this. He's put a lot of soul into this rendering that he's brought together. So I'm going to share it with you guys right now. Just some of the progress that we have made on it so far. And I don't know why you guys are seeing my face more. There we go. So this is how it's looking now. And just remember, anybody who has bought anything from our website and anybody who buys anything right now is going to get this. So yesterday we had some customers come on and buy some stuff. They are getting this, and I am doing a limited run of prints on this. So I'm only doing 40 of these, and the first 40 people who claim them, that they're getting it. And this is going to be printed up as a 5x7 image. It's going to be signed and numbered, and this is the ground level stuff, guys. This is the first sketch of Warline you will ever see, and it's still not finalized yet, or I'm not sure. I still have to have a conversation with my writing cohort, David Anthony Kraft, about it and see what he says. And you know, we do production management together, so he's been kind of guiding Joel along. But from where we were yesterday, basically Joel was still kind of like penciling this out, and now he's really added some inks to it. And what's really cool about this is we're really trying to get the sense of Warline. He has created his own martial art, and he is the guy who basically is the only one who has mastered this style. And he has taken on this identity as the Warline. And back in his prime, he was like the greatest hero. And, you know, now as time has gone on, he has become like older and forgotten. And it's very much a story about, you know, a man trying to find his place in a world that has moved on from him. And so, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, he's much older, and we wanted to really give him a sense of, you know, we all see ourselves in this grandiose fashion, right? Like, you know, we as people, we see ourselves as being like these larger than life figures, even though like when we kind of break things down and are humbled, we realize just how small and insignificant we are in the grand scheme of things. And really, that's one of the things that I really want to kind of like explore with this story is like, you know, when COVID hit and the conventions were taken away, I really felt like I was not able to do what I was able to do before to the effect that I was doing it. And when I was in the heat of everything, like at conventions and everything, like I was really focused on what I was doing. I was very, very good at it. You know, like you put me on a convention floor, I'm going to kill it no matter what, you know, because I believe in how I approach my customers. I believe in my comics. I have a lot of passion in what I'm doing. So, I mean, to not be able to do that in front of people, it's a very crippling feeling. And it kind of just makes you feel, you know, realize really just how small you are in the grand scheme of things. But when I was doing it, I felt that like I was at the top of my world, you know. But COVID has made me realize that there's a much larger community in comics that I need to pay attention to. And, maybe I'm not as experienced, or maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe I needed to learn something, and that's kind of the idea of this story here is, this character is very much me in some ways, but it not only is exploring me as a person, but it's really kind of like digging past, the essence of what's really going on with COVID, because this story has nothing to do with viruses. It really is a story of like self-exploration, and I've had to go down some really dark tunnels here, not just vocationally, but personally too. I mean, this is again a very personal story. This is a character I relate to, and I think you guys will be able to relate to him too as you get to know him better. And we're looking at some colorists right now, and so the next time you see this image, not with these sketches, so these 40 sketches we're putting up, those are just going to be black and white, but eventually this image here is going to be colored. And we're kind of looking at some options right now, and I still have to finish writing the first script, and I still have no idea how far I can take this or where it's going, but it is the first major new title that OK Comics will be releasing in 2021, so I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be great, and I honestly think you guys are going to enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you guys are kind of making this happen for me, because it's through platforms like this and Kickstarter that when you guys purchase anything from our site, you're contributing to making this project happen. And we will be doing a Kickstarter for Warline, but this is a great time for you right now to jump on and pick up some Easton Shin comics. So without further ado, let's talk about Easton Shin. And let me switch the camera over here. How's it going again? All right. So for those of you who have never seen the show before, I'm going to tell you right now what Easton Shin's about. My pitches are very fast, and then I'm going to move on, and we're going to look at our collectibles, and then we're going to talk some more. All right. So Easton Shin is the story of a Korean admiral that battled the Japanese in the 1500s. He was outnumbered 10-1, and he beat them 23 times in a row without losing. This is all based on a true story, and we got a deal going on. You see these 4 comics in my hand here. I got 1, 2, 3, and 4 going for just $10. So that's 4 comics for $10. You're saving $1 off the cover price of all 4 books. And the best part is I'm going to sign them all. And on top of that, I'm going to sign a personalized letter that is addressed directly to you. I'm going to package everything up and ship it right to your front door. And if you are really interested in hearing more about Easton Shin and what we got going on with it, we also, it's a trilogy of books. So there will be 12 issues of Easton Shin all together once we're done with the entire series. So far, we have the first 9 issues available. So I told you about Warrior and Defender. Fallen Avenger is right here. I got the next 4 issues going for an extra $10. So you're saving $1 off the cover price. So those next 4 books as well. And then I got Hunter and Destroyer 1 right here going for $3 only. And Hunter and Destroyer 1 starts the final chapter of the Easton Shin trilogy. So this is the first issue of the last arc of the series. And it's going to be hot. I'm telling you guys, what we're doing right now with Hunter and Destroyer 2 is going to just completely blow your minds. We're doing a Kickstarter on that next year. So we got a lot planned for 2021. Let me tell you guys. And it's really going to be a complete series, and we're almost there. We've been putting books out for the last 10 years. We've sold over 100,000 copies so far, and I'm super happy. I'm just I'm so proud of this. I can't wait to get back to conventions, and I can't wait to keep selling me to you guys. And here's the thing that's cool about Easton Shin right now. Here's what you want to buy now. So these books have all gone back to press multiple times. And the next time they go back to press, they're going to be printed through our banner, OK Comics, which means that we're going to start numbering our printings. We're going to have a first printing and beyond that. And we're going to do variant covers and all kinds of cool stuff. So when we get into that territory of new reprints and everything like that, it's going to bring the value of these books that we're selling right now way up, because there's a very limited print run on these. And if you buy them right now, these books are actually not numbered printings. So you're getting them under our old banner Onrie Kingpin Productions. And if anything's going to be of value one day when Easton blows up and you see movies making millions of dollars in the box office or whatever the case is, this is the comic that starts it all off. And this is the one that you want to jump on now. So come to our website, do that. You buy anything from our website, it doesn't matter what. You spend $3 at our site, or you spend $20 at our site, it doesn't matter. You get Joel's sketch for free, all right? And it's a limited time only. It's only going for the next 40 customers, all right? Actually, I should say it's less than that now. It's somewhere in the 30s now, all right? So aside from the single issues, Easton's also a hardcover graphic novel. The hardcover features a foreword by Stan Lee, and it collects the first 4 books from the first arc. And it also has director's cut content, interviews with our creative team, and character profiles in the back. So this book is normally going for $25. I'm willing to let it go for you guys for just $20, and I will sign it for you, and I will also include a personalized letter to you. I will package it up, take care of you guys. That's what I do best. And we also have the second arc here, Fallen Avenger, and it's going for another $20. So if you want 2 hardcover books, it's just $40, guys. $40, you get both of them signed by me, packaged and shipped right to your front door. All right. Now, aside from Easton Chin, we got a few other things. I have Mark's right here. This is the story of my grandfather's life. And during World War II, he was a Russian Jewish soldier that battled the Nazis. And it's a story that is very personal to me. It's a story I got from my grandfather as he was dying. And, this is kind of the story follows that journey. And it's going for just $15. But aside from that, it's something that I'm very proud of. The production team on this did an amazing job. I learned a lot from working on this book from J.M. DeMatteis, who was my editor on it. He taught me so much about making comics and really telling the best story I could, really cutting myself open metaphorically and bleeding on the page, as he likes to say. And it has sold out of its first printing, guys. And so if you buy this book now, you're getting a remastered version of it, and I'm very proud of the way this book has turned out. So come to our website, $15 on Marks. I will sign it and ship it, send it to your front door. Last thing from comics that I got are my Tales from the Crypt books. So I got a very limited run of this. All right, Tales from the Crypt. I worked on the middle story of this book. It was published by Super Genius in 2016. It was a relaunch, so it's a brand new #1. And it is going for $10, comes signed by me. If you want the trade, which features multiple stories from multiple creators, including a really beautiful Bernie Wrightson cover, this is going for $15. And I got a very limited amount of trades here going for $25. It's pretty crazy. Pick this up right now. Anything from our site. Not only do I sign everything for you, I ship it right to your front door, all right? Now, here's something else I'm going to offer you guys, all right? So every episode, I always tell you guys this. The next person who orders anything right now from our website, and I don't care what it is, anything from our website, gets this comic right here. It's called Hot Shot. This is from my own personal collection of independent comics. It is written by my very good friend, Victor Dandridge, and published and drawn by my very good friend, Michael Watson. This is a great comic. If you're a fan of books like Ultimate Spider-Man and are looking for something fresh and hot in terms of superhero stuff, this is a great book. Mike Watson, he is extremely passionate about what he does, and he's having so much fun on his channel. If you guys have seen any of his shows, I've been a guest on it a number of times, and he's a really solid dude, and he's got a great comic here. And here's the reason why I'm giving it to you guys for free. It's not that I'm just giving it to you guys because I want to be rid of it, all right? This book really meant something to me, but it sitting in my collection and collecting dust is not helping, all right? It deserves to be read by multiple people. Everybody should be talking about every independent comic right now because we are the future, all right? 20 years from now, when all these Marvel movies and DC movies are old and tired, they're going to be coming and looking to us for the stories that they want to see adapted to the big screen. So now is the time to get on every independent comic. I'm telling you guys. All right. So the next person who orders anything from our site gets this book for free. It's a #1. It's signed, I believe, too, somewhere. But even if it's not, you meet him at a convention, I'm sure Mike would be more than happy to sign your book for you. All right? So come to our site right now, buy anything, you get Hot Shot #1 for free. Aside from that, we also got some really cool stuff. Let's say you guys have bought Easton Shin already, you have everything, there's nothing new that Onrie has to offer you. Well, actually, there is. So I've been digging around the war chest, and I found some cool new items for you guys. So the first thing I got, which is really cool, are these prints right here. Hang on, sorry, I'm slipping up here. So these are some prints we have that are left over from our Hunter and Destroyer #1 campaign that we did on Kickstarter. It was successfully funded, and we got these prints left. Okay, there were a lot of people who ordered these prints, and they're very beautiful. You can frame them very easily. I've done so, and I'll show you on our collectibles wall. Actually, you can see it right there. My fat head. Right there, you can see some of the stuff that we had framed already is hung up in our studio here. So what's cool about these prints is they're sized to be the same width as an open spread of our comic pages. And what we're going to be launching pretty soon from OK Comics is our sketch line. So basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be reprinting all the black and white art from Easton Shin on poster boards, and we're going to be specifically sticking with spreads at first because I just think they look so freaking cool. And what you're seeing in the Hunter and Destroyer posters here, these are actually going to be used as the end papers for graphic novels. So as you can see from the Warrior and Defender graphic novel, we got this like beautiful end paper here. So you'd be seeing that same thing, that same artwork right as you open up Hunter and Destroyer, which is going to be really, really cool. Aside from that, we also have these prints too, which you guys actually made this happen. This wouldn't exist if it wasn't for our fans helping us reach our stretch goals. But for anybody who's into martial arts, this is something you're going to want up in your shrine. I got a very limited print run of these Bruce Lee and Easton Shin prints right here. These all all these prints, by the way, come signed and numbered by me. All right, this is going, and they're all going for $15. You can see the prices right there at the bottom banner over here. But we got two sizes for this Bruce Lee Easton Shin thing. And one cool thing you can do with this, if you have like a golden age size board and bag for your comics, you can slide this thing right in there, and it looks kind of cool. Rather than just seeing a white board back there, you can kind of see some nice looking art. And yeah, you can frame it too. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with it. And the last one, this is my favorite piece of Easton Shin art, just period. This is our multi-figure spread, and this is actually a commemoration of one of Easton Shin's most famous battles in history, where he had only 12 ships and he was up against pretty much the entire Japanese Navy, 333 ships. And in 2 hours, he boards the enemy commander's ship, cuts off his head, hangs it on the mast of his ship, and says, "We will attack again." And after that, the Japanese had lost all taste for combat. They really just didn't want to have anything to do with Korea anymore. But Easton Shin basically told them, "You guys stepped in our backyards, and you're not leaving alive." And that's what Hunter and Destroyer is really about. It's bringing our trilogy to a conclusion. We got a great villain in Easton Shin too. He's been called the Korean version of Darth Vader. He's a total badass. His name is Baron So, and you can see his face right here. That's his face. That's a close-up of his face in our Malice poster. You can see he's missing an eye over here, and Easton Shin is in the reflection of his blades here. And we're leading up to the final confrontation. And this dude, not only does he look like a badass, he just does really evil stuff throughout this entire series. I mean, we're talking, he's a slave trader. I don't even know what more I can say about that. This is a guy that rounds people up, sells them off, and reach the profits from it. And he is an ally of the Japanese and a total turncoat. And he's the exact opposite of Easton Shin, who's our, valiant hero who is trying to fight for Korea and trying to defend the people and everything. So it's a really great series. I have a lot of faith that we're gonna, as soon as we start releasing these sketches, that they're gonna just kill it. And I know for a fact, guys, that as soon as Comic-Con comes back, and I'm telling you, I have a very good feeling we're going to be back on the floor next year, because there are already shows happening. I just got a survey yesterday from a convention that was supposed to be held in Houston. They're thinking about doing something in December, and they were just asking me some preliminary questions about where my comfort level was about doing conventions. I basically told them, hey, I'm ready to go back. I don't mind, guys. I'm ready to wear a mask. I'm ready to get back on the floor with you guys. And, I think everything's going to be okay. But, of course, we don't know what's going to happen. And so that's why we're doing this show. So one of the cool things about this show, though, is that it allows me to really offer you guys things that I wouldn't be able to at conventions. Like, for example, I wouldn't be able to offer you Hot Shot number 1 for free at a convention, because when I go to conventions, I'm already focused on what I'm doing with Easton Shin. So this not only helps me, it's helping all these other independent creators too, because Mike Watson's got a lot of issues of his book out. He's got many series, and this won't be the first one that I pass on to you guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Another cool thing too, we got Easton Shin T-shirts, and I'm running really low on these guys. I just found out yesterday we had an order placed for one XXL shirt, and it turns out we don't have any more XXLs. So we have these T-shirts going for $15. We got them in all sizes, and if you are a XXL, don't worry. We're going to be reprinting new shirts soon, and they're going to look really awesome. But these are the original ones, guys, and they're going for just $15. You pick them up, I will ship them right to your front door. All right. So that wraps it up with everything I got with Easton Shin here. Now let's move on to our collectibles. And let me move this camera here. I know it's a little jarring. I apologize for that, guys. There we go. We got that camera. So I redressed everything for our collectibles. And I think we got a lot of cool stuff here. Let's see what kind of comments we got real quick. Have a look and see what you guys like. So someone in Korea is watching, and they're saying "안녕하세요." "안녕하세요" to you too, Mr. Jachi Gachi. Nice to meet you. And the reason why I know that, folks, is because I learned how to read in Korean. So that was pretty cool that I was able to look at what our friend here wrote and was able to reply to it. So that's really cool. All right, so tonight on the collectibles rack, I have redressed everything for you guys, and I got new stuff for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think of some of this stuff. If you are interested in buying any of our collectibles right now, do me a favor. Write in the comments section, say, Onrie, I want that book. Put it aside for me. I'm going to pick it up from you. We have a very simple checkout system. It's based on honor. You basically let me know what you want. And what I do is I set it aside. If it hasn't been claimed yet, you pay me, I ship it out to you. It's the same thing like I do with Easton Shin. We're working on getting a website right now where we're going to have all of these items listed. And, it's taking a little bit of time for us to kind of figure things out, because I really want to have a really simple and fluid checkout system for you guys in place, and we're going to get there. So without further ado, let's look at what we got up here tonight. So at the top here, I picked out Daredevil number 189. This is a really nice cover over here, and it's an iconic Daredevil. He is obviously fighting the Hand here. I don't know if you guys have read this one, but this is some of Frank Miller's stuff right here, and it's really amazing artwork in this book. This is going for $10. $10 on this bad boy. I also have a reprint of Hulk 181. This was released, I believe, last year, but it's sold like hotcakes. I'm doing this for $20 if you guys are interested. And I got a cool Conan cover up here too. Check out this Conan over here. So it's Conan number 188. And these iconic Marvel covers, as you can see, the cover price on this is $10. $10, you get that book. I also have this Daredevil 1/2. Now the price on this is $40, so I apologize for this being there. That's not really professional. Sorry. But what's really cool about this is a special edition of Daredevil that was put out when Marvel relaunched the series in the turn of the century, I want to say. And it comes with the certificate of authenticity. And it's a missing piece of the story of that Joe Quesada and Kevin Smith did on Daredevil. They had a really good run on there. And so this kind of like kicks it off, so to speak. And let's see, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 150, signed by Mr. Jerry Conway himself. This bad boy's going for $50. It's in good shape. It's got some things on the side over here, but you know, this is a pretty old comic, and you know, it's what you can expect from it. Pages are still white, as you can see, so they're not like, you know, it's not as worn as it could be. I would say if you got it graded, it would probably be somewhere around like, you know, 5 or 6. I also got Amazing Spider-Man number 350. Love this book right here. Dr. Doom on the cover. There's a really sexy Mary Jane in this book, drawn by Eric Larson. This is his last issue of Amazing Spider-Man. It's going for $10, folks. I also have Amazing Spider-Man number 256. First appearance of Puma. And this is going for $35. All right. It's good shape too, by the way. This is a very clean comic. I know it's kind of hard to see, but there's not a single dent over here. No folds in the pages. This is a pretty pristine comic right here. At least an 8.5 or above. I got Amazing Spider-Man number 146. I just love this color here, this cover here. I really like Ross Andrew. He's, you know, one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. I've been talking about him. Jerry Conway on the story. This is like the original Clone Saga right here taking place. Good stuff. Once again, I got Mr. T in the T-Force right here. This book was put out a long time ago. It was done by Neil Adams and Pete Stone. It comes with a certificate of authenticity, a trading card, and 2 copies of the first issue of Mr. T and the T-Force in this beautiful binding right here. It is a really, really wonderful commemorative piece for Mr. T. And this is going for $60. And just, you know, hit me up if you guys are interested, and I will set it aside for you. I got our graded Avenging Spider-Man number 9, which is the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. If you're interested in that, hit me up. I got Amazing Spider-Man number 144 going for $26. This is another nice Ross Andrew cover right here. Some really great stuff done back then. I mean, some of these Spider-Man covers are just really exquisite. Here's another good one, 143. And this one's pretty clean. You know, I'd say it's like probably like a 6. Not signed, nothing. Just a nice clean copy. This one is going for just $20, folks. $20 on this bad boy. I have X-Men number 171 going for $8. It's a nice issue. Your early Rogue Rouge, as Stephen Anthony Kraft likes the color. And Amazing Spider-Man number 225. This is kind of a funky cover. And they had the old Win a Ted the Speed Racer ads on the front of all the Marvel comics, which I never really understood. You know, why advertise on the cover of the comic when you got so many other cheap places to do it. But hey, that's what they did back then. We are getting rid of this for apparently only $7, folks. So let us know if you're interested. I got Amazing Spider-Man number 333. So Venom fighting Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Stones, those were some cool villains. Nobody's ever really done anything with them recently. So, if you like those characters, some really great artwork by Eric Larson and my good friend Jim Salicrup. He, I believe, was the editor on Spider-Man at that time. This is going for $15. $15 on this one. I got an early Spider-Woman right here, number 2. This is going for only $15. Look this up if you're interested. Got an early Miss Marvel right here. Got Vision in this one, number 5. This has actually been pressed, and it's going for $35. I got the Pit number 1. Not sure if you guys remember this, but Image, he was one of the original heroes that Image launched. Really cool stuff right here. And speaking of Image, okay, so the Pit number 1's going for $5, folks. $5 on this one. Spawn number 1. This is what I got. It's a nice clean copy of it. And it is going for, what do I got on here? $50. $50 on this bad boy. I got Batman Legends of the Dark Knight number 50. This one is going for 25 buckaroos. I really love Brian Boland's cover of this. This is some really cool stuff. And then I got From Hell, all of the single issue runs. So I got everything from the entire book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, plus the Dance of the Goal Catchers. And I'm doing the whole thing, the whole shimoli here for $200. If you guys are interested, you get the whole set of From Hell. At the bottom here, I got some really nice graphic novels, some kind of rare stuff here. I got this Amazing Spider-Man Parallel Lives. This is a one-shot graphic novel written by Jerry Conway. He signed it, as a matter of fact. It's actually drawn by Alex Saviak, who is a very well-known Spider-Man artist. He did Web of Spider-Man for quite some time. And it's heavily modeled, the second Spider-Man movie is heavily modeled after this one. So this is one of the stories that they really looked at when they were, trying to craft the story for the original Spider-Man movie starring Tobey Maguire. And then I got this Spider-Man Kingpin to the Death. This is going for $10. It's a one-shot. It's got a kind of a interesting cover here. John Romita on artwork, which is cool. I have to be honest, I never read this, but Dan Green, who I believe is the colorist on this, he's a phenomenal artist in his own right. He did a really cool Doctor Strange one-shot with Jan DeMatteis, and they did some really cool stuff together on that. Another cool one I got here is X-Men God Loves, Man Kills. This is a 5th printing of this. It's going for just $25, and I actually got 2 of those right here. So that covers everything I got on the rack here. If you guys are interested in anything at all, just message me in the comments, and I will hook you guys up. What else do I got here? I got some new trades here from my stack. I got this really cool Captain America story. It's setting up a whole new arc. It's written by Rick Remender, illustrated by John Romita Jr. And this story takes Captain America to some like sci-fi setting. It's really well written, really well drawn. It is going for $25, and it's in really pristine condition. Really nice hardback book. It's perfectly in your collection. I also got this Wonder Woman, the Hikeshia. It's done by Greg Rucka. I really love that cover of Wonder Woman on Batman's head here. I think that's really tight. And this one's just going for $10. $10 on this bad boy. I got the first volume of Justice right here. This is done by Jim Kruger and Alex Ross. And this is just a really solid story. It's hardcover, and it has a dust jacket. The dust jacket looks a little worn, but it's in good shape, guys. And the price on this is normally $20. I'm doing it for 10, so that's 50% off the price over here. And then I got these Marvel Masterworks here. These are going for $15 a pop. It's the Fantastic Four. It collects issues 72 through 78 and has the annual, the number 6 annual in there. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby on all this stuff. Really great for your collection. So I forgot what I said. I think it was $15 on this bad boy. So there you go. If it was less, just let me know. I'll honor that. And it's factory sealed too. This one is as well. It's the Daredevil Volume 3. It is done by Stan Lee and Gene Colan, and it collects issues 22 to 32. And we got the first annual in here. And these are some really early Daredevils recollected. And what's really nice about the Marvel Masterworks is they include a lot of bonus content that you won't find in the comics, sort of like what we do with our Easton Shin graphic novels. And it's a really nice thing to have. And I'll do 15 on this one too. So we got that right here. And let's see, we got some time, so I'm gonna share with you guys a couple more books we got. This is a good one right here. Justice Inc. This was the team up between the Shadow, Doc Savage, and the Avenger. And this was drawn by Easton Shin artist Giovanni Timpano and written by Michael Uslan, who is the dude who produced the original Batman movie with Michael Keaton. And I believe he's actually working on a movie deal for this. So this is a pretty worn book because I brought it and it actually came with me to Georgia, not the state, the country. And so I read it while I was in a different country, and I'll get rid of it for $5. That's why. Just let me know. $5 on that bad boy. Let's see. I'll dig through some stuff here. Got some early Commandy over here. Commandy number 3. So if you're a fan of any Jack Kirby stuff, this is really cool. This is going for $5. $5 on this bad boy. You just let me know if you're interested, and I will hook you guys up. First come, first serve. I got an early Man Bat right here. This is going for about $10. So it is Man Bat number 2. And just let me know. It's kind of cool. I like the cover. I got Return of the New Gods. This is some stuff that Jack Kirby did, I believe. No, this is not Jack Kirby. It's definitely not Jack Kirby. But it's the Return of the New Gods. We're going to be seeing these characters show up in the movies soon. This is going for only $5. $5 in this bad boy. Same thing with the Starman right here. $5, you got a first appearance of a character who is yet to appear in any DC movies. And I have faith in DC, I gotta tell you guys. I think that even though the movies that they've been releasing lately have been like really hit or miss, I do believe there's gonna come a point where they start doing what Marvel has once they find their groove, so to speak, and they'll start making some better movies with these characters. And I have a feeling like all this stuff that's happening with HBO is gonna be huge for them. They've really become dominant on the front of TV shows as opposed to the movies. So I hope they'll catch up on that front. One last thing I'm going to share with you guys, and we're going to move back to talking to you guys and wrapping the show up. I got the full run of The Dark Knight Returns here, going for $40. That's issues 1 through 4. If you guys are interested, just hit me up. I'll take care of you. All right. So that brings us to the end of our collection for tonight, and I will redress this, and we'll have brand new stuff tomorrow. And my co-host, Kevin Hines, will hopefully be here with me, and he'll have his own setup too, and we'll be kicking it back and forth to each other, and hopefully we see some action. Because I'm telling you guys, this is something that both Kevin and I are extremely passionate about. We really love what we're doing with the collectible side of it too. It really is a chance for us to take our collection and share it with the rest of the world. Because it's one thing to hold on to this stuff and have it forever and ever. It's another thing to have these books never get read. And I'd rather see them in the hands of you guys. And we're like I said, we're working on a really nice, simple checkout system on our website, and all of these items will be available on there. But if you're interested right now, just let us know, and we will take care of everything. I will handle everything myself personally, and so will Kevin. We're going to make sure that your books come in good shape, and you package them up. We take this very seriously. We want to make sure you get your books in good working order. We are working on getting more graded materials, but for now we're just kind of sticking to the grid. We're really reaching out to the comic readers out there, the people who are not just buying the stuff because they want to have it as a collection that they can stare at, but people who actually love their collection so much that they want to pull out their comics and read them, and it doesn't matter at what point they're doing them. And we have a whole wide range of stuff. So if there's something that is too expensive, don't worry, because we got middle range and cheaper stuff too. We got $2 comics. You just tell me what you're looking for, and I'll see if I got it in my bins here. And if anything, I got more long boxes in the back. We have 3 different locations where collection is based, and we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of trades, a lot of DC trades, and we got a lot of Marvel single issues, and we collect all kinds of stuff. I also got a lot of independent books too. So if you're looking for any independent books, in fact, I might even just dress up this entire rack tomorrow with nothing but independent comics, just to kind of show you guys what I got in my stack there. So I will be back tomorrow with a completely new redressed collectibles setup. So I'll see you guys with that tomorrow. And coming back, let me chat with you guys a little bit before we wrap up the show. Dennis Herbert says he's in for this. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. You never know who's watching, so it means so much to me to hear from you. Right back at you, Sean Morrissey from Korea. Thank you so much for checking in and saying hi. I have no idea if you're even watching the show at this point, but if you're still in there, it really means a lot to me that you just drop by and say hi. Sharing this, guys, just getting it out there for me, that's the most important thing, because I get it. Most likely you're not going to sit here and watch me babble on about my comics for, a whole hour. But, sharing this at the moment that I might be holding up my comic and somebody who has never heard of it before may come upon it by some chance, that could lead to us making a sale and us keeping things going. And that matters a lot to us. That's why this is called the shopping. So that's what I'm here to do. But I'm also here to talk to you guys as well. And Dennis, thank you for saying that you're here. That really means a lot to me, man. I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you. And we got another comment. Hey, man, love the stream. The commander of Left Chola Naval Station. His military career has been full of hardships. When he was finally made admiral in 1591, in just 1 year, he transformed a small naval force into the strongest armada yet. He is a brave and compassionate leader who will stop at nothing to save Korea from Japan. I couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Thank you very much for that comment. That means a lot to me, because one of the reasons why I got into Eastern Shin, and the reason why I decided to pretty much commit my entire career to bringing his story to the world, is because I believe that that's something that we are sorely in need of at all points in history, and all points in time. When you go to a job and you are working for someone, you wanna be depending on the job, of course. You should have faith in the person that you are reporting to, the person that's kind of like steering you in a direction. When they tell you that you need to get something done,
You have to believe that it's to a greater purpose. And when you can align yourself with that kind of thinking, that's how true leadership is formed. And that's one of the reasons why I think Easton Shin's story is so relevant. It's not about the history. It's about the fact that he was just such a great leader. And honestly, I consider myself a disciple of Easton Shin, and his methods follow me with my production process. It follows me with the way I interact with people. It's always treating people with respect. Doesn't matter how high up or how low they are. You treat, the janitor the same way you treat the president. Everybody deserves to be treated with respect. Doesn't matter their background. It doesn't matter their skin color. It doesn't matter their sexual orientation. None of these things matter. True leadership is having respect for everybody. It's being humble. It's knowing when to admit that you're wrong and willing to work towards making things right. That to me is leadership. And that's something that Easton Shin was able to come across to do very well. That's why he built the strongest naval force ever in Asia, is because he was able to listen to his men. He was able to realize that he wasn't perfect and that he needed their help in order to bring things together. And he managed to do it. And his strategies, they weren't just his strategies. These were strategies from his men who had specialties in different areas. He had one commander who was really good at navigating the sea and knew exactly where the wind was coming from. And he depended on that, in order to get the Japanese into certain places, positions. He had to be able to steer them there, and he had to know the layout of the land. That was how he was able to win the war. So Dennis Herbert just purchased the Warrior number 1 through 4 bundle. Will I get the sketch in that order? Yes, you will get that sketch in that order. Absolutely, Dennis. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Ilima, thank you for the stream. What do you think makes an object valuable? That's a really good question. What do I think makes it valuable? I think the scarcity of it. So when you have something and there's only like a couple hundred or a couple thousand of them available, that's something that can increase the value of any collectible item, because there's not a lot of it in stock. And that's what's kind of cool about our collectible stuff, is that some of the stuff there is readily available and easy to find. And for those kinds of items, we try to offer you the best price. And but for the stuff that's more rare, like our finer books, which right now I would say probably one of the most rare books I have in my collection would be the Secret Wars number 8. It's, and that particular copy of it is signed by Jim Shooter and Mike Zeck. I had to hunt them down at various conventions because they're not always at the same place. And it's pretty crazy, just having to, hunt these guys down, get them to sign stuff, take pictures of it so that you guys have it. And I think that makes that book very valuable. And actually, I would also argue that first appearance of Carnage, Amazing Spider-Man 361, that's my most, that's my hardest hitter right now off the top of my head. And of course, we have so many collectibles in the back, I don't even know what we got. And we got stuff that we're sitting on too. So how many kidneys for that issue from Dennis? So Amazing Spider-Man number 361, the copy I have is signed by Bagley, and I believe it's signed by Michelini, or it might be signed by one or the other or both. I'm not really sure right now. That book is going for $350. And I actually had 2 copies of it, and I sold one of them already. So this is the last one I got, and I'm holding on to it because I know that Carnage is going to make an appearance in the next Venom movie, which will be coming out at some point in the next year or two. And I have a lot of faith that when Carnage hits the big screen, he's going to make a really huge impact, especially now that, everything's under the Marvel banner now, the MCU. So, there's probably going to be some cool stuff happening with Carnage and Venom and tie-overs to the MCU and stuff. So I have a feeling it's going to be the beginning of something. And plus, Marvel's been really pushing Carnage in general through the Absolute Carnage storyline. And, he's just a great character. you know, and having his first appearance is really awesome. So that brings us to the end of our episode tonight, guys. And I just want to thank you again for tuning in and being a part of you know, what we got going on. You just never know what's going to happen when you go and do the show. I honestly, that's the hardest thing for me. It's hard going from being in an environment where I can sell 500 books in a single day to a point where I have no idea if anybody's watching at all, you know, and that doesn't lower my spirits or anything, because I know that this isn't permanent, but it's just something that you have to come into it with a sense of humbleness and understand that it's not the same environment. And you know, just being able to interact with you, like Dennis, I appreciate the fact that we're interacting right now. Like, I never met you before, and you gave me business tonight. Thank you so much. And you too, Eloy Lima, thank you so much for writing, because it's just every new face counts, every person, and that's how we're going about it right now. And I'm going to keep doing this too, even when conventions come back. We're still going to do this because I think it's cool. There's a lot of things I can do on here that I can't at the shows, like showing you guys Joel Saavedra's artwork on Warline. So Dennis asked before, I just bought the first 4 issues of Easton Shin. Am I getting the sketch? You're damn right you are. Everybody who orders anything from our site right now, it could be anything. You can get anything on our website. You get the sketch for free on Monday. Once we finalize this sketch, which I believe will be like in the next day or so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and print up 40 of these. It's going to take less than a day to get that done. And as soon as I do that, I'm going to fulfill your orders. I'm going to sign and number all of these. In fact, I might even do a live broadcast just so you can see me doing it for you guys. And I'm really excited about it. I think Warline is going to be fantastic. I think if you love Easton Shin and you like Marks and everything else I got going on, you're really going to love Warline too. And I should probably get off this chat right now, because this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and start writing Warline right now. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Dennis is saying one last thing. Order up, people. Let's go. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I will be back with you guys tomorrow. Still working on that time. I believe it will be 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will have, hopefully, my brother-in-arms, Kevin Hines, with me. We're going to be kicking it back and forth with each other on the collectibles front. We're going to have a good time. So I will see you guys then. And until that time comes, onward to victory.